we ready? Okay. These are the words of the prophet Jeremiah. A voice is heard in Ramah, mourning and great weeping. Rachel weeping for her children and refusing to be comforted because her children are no more. I'd like to invite us to a time of prayer or meditation. As is your practice, I invite you to translate my words as you need. Dear God, Spirit of life, eternal and transforming love, source of our being who creates us each beloved, imperfect and finite, but also an expression of life, sacred and holy. Incline your ear to us and hear the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts as our nation reckons with the heartbreaking and violent consequences of the generations of trauma upon which it has been built. Traumas from the forced removals of peoples from their lands, traumas from the exploitations of bodies for labor and enslavement, traumas of institutionalized and systemic racism and poverty and denial of humanity to whole groups of human beings. We have participated knowingly and unknowingly in a false narrative of the superiority of white bodies over black bodies and brown bodies, Asian bodies and First Nation bodies, immigrant bodies and poor bodies. We cannot yet pray for unity, for hope, or for healing, or even peace. Like Rachel, we must join first in mourning with all the mothers who have lost their children and cannot and refuse to be comforted. Children ripped from their arms to be sold and enslaved, ripped from their arms to be lynched, ripped from their arms to be found dead in the streets, shot in the back, kneed in the throat, by those under the protection of the law. Like Rachel and all these mothers, we must refuse to be comforted. So my prayer today, as we affirm that Black lives do indeed matter, is one of lament, of mourning, of humility, of repentance, turning to see and name the truth and the magnitude of the grief, the trauma, the wrong that has been done and continues to be done. May we gathered here commit ourselves to the inner work of our own souls, as well as the outer work for the soul of this nation necessary to transform the weeping and mourning truly from prayers of lament into prayers of healing. Amen.